All right, so let me explain to you why I believe that men must master the art of detachment, detaching yourself from the current reality, detaching yourself from your emotions. I'm not saying you have to do it 24/7, but you should be able to detach when the need be. When it comes time to detaching yourself, if you need to do it, you learn how to do it, okay? It's the same way they say, what is the saying? It's better to be a gardener it's better to be a warrior in a garden than to be a gardener in a war. Meaning, for example, if you are a grown man and you have a family to protect, if you're the type of man who will not, under any circumstances, kill somebody if they're trying to hurt your family out of self-defense, then how are you going to protect your family? This is not to say you are a murderer, you are going around and doing all these crimes. But if someone comes to your house and tries to hurt your family, if you're not the type of man who is capable of violence when it comes down to it, then you're going to get fucked by life. And it's the same thing with mastering the art of being detached from your emotions, because there's going to come a time when you will learn, especially if you're a young man growing up, you will learn that it's not very good to get attached to too many things, or get attached to anything really, other than yourself and trusting in yourself, trusting that you have your own back, because soon enough you will learn that you will have friends who at one point you thought were your closest friends and they're no longer your friends. You will have girlfriends who at one point in your life, maybe they told you they would never leave you. Maybe you thought it wouldn't be possible that she could leave you. And then eventually you come to find out that's not true. You're going to have family members who are going to pass away. That's unfortunate and nobody wants to go through that. You're going to have jobs that are going to fire you, and that might have been your only source of income. You're going to have a lot of things happen to you in life, and you're going to start to learn. And if you don't learn, once again, you're going to get fucked by life. But if you do learn, you will learn that being so attached to these things only hurts you. It doesn't give you any benefit to be attached to things other than trusting that you have your own back. Because when you're attached to too many things, when you're attached to a friend that you thought was the closest friend or whatever the case may be, and they're no longer in your life, if they do you dirty for whatever reason, then you're not gonna put your self-respect over the fact that they're disrespecting you, because you're too attached and you don't know how to detach yourself. Same thing goes for women. And I see this a lot. Some guys get cheated on and they're too attached. They don't know how to detach themselves from their emotions, even though they know what's best for them. They know they shouldn't take that woman back. They know that woman is doing them dirty, but they still decide to stay because they haven't mastered the art of being detached. And the reason why I said earlier that it's not about being detached 24/7 is because, when you go through a bad relationship, maybe you go through a heartbreak, it's normal to be detached all the time, right? When you first find out something that you didn't want to find out, you're going to be detached probably all the time. A lot of guys go through that. That's why a lot of guys, once they get out of relationships, they can't get back into one for a while because they're too detached. They're just detached from everything. But eventually, after you've gone through that period in your life, you will realize that you don't have to be that detached. You can go through life being present in the present moment, because when you're detached all the time, you're detached from reality. It's almost like you're going through your life in third person. So you have to learn how to be detached, but you don't have to do it all the time, because you still want to be present when you're hanging out with your friends, when you're hanging out with your family, when you're hanging out with your girlfriend, when you're hanging out wherever it is, whenever you're spending time with people. You don't want to be too detached, because when you're detached, you don't really give a fuck about what anyone has to say. You don't care about what the woman on the date has to say. You don't care about what your family members have to say. I know that's unfortunate, but that's what happens when you're detached. You don't care about what anything that is going on in your life and what is happening. But you have to learn how to detach yourself from the present moment. And don't wait until you go through something extremely unfortunate. And some of you might have to learn that way. You know, a lot of people, they learn from their mistakes when life really just smacks them in the face. And if that's you, try to figure out a way to learn beforehand. Try to figure out a way to learn from others' mistakes and say, start to ask yourself, is this situation benefiting me or is it a detriment to my life? And then try to study yourself and try to study the emotions that you're feeling. If you're feeling too attached to something, then you have to try to control your mind to where you don't to where you're not stuck to something. Because if you get too attached to something, if you get too stuck to something, then guess what? Your life is going to be stuck in a past moment. Your life is going to be stuck in past experiences. And this is why a lot of guys end up depressed, right? Because depression is focusing on the past, anxiety is focusing on the future. And the reason why a lot of guys end up so depressed is because they're too attached to bad experiences that have happened to them in their life. I am in the present moment all the time. I don't give a fuck about what's happened to me in the past. I've had plenty of bad shit happen to me. I've had plenty of shit that most guys wouldn't want happening to them, but at the end of the day, I'm in the present moment. I'm not attached to the past because it doesn't benefit me in any way. I am all about how to become better, how to better my life, how to keep pushing my life forward. And I understand that being attached to something that happened in the past is gone. Every second that goes by is gone. This second right here, it's gone. This is a new time. This is a new second right here. And then once it's gone, it's gone. So why focus on something that we don't even have already? If you go through a relationship and then you go through a breakup and maybe you loved her, maybe you were in love with her, maybe she was your everything, maybe you thought that she would never leave you, whatever the case may be. Once she's gone, she's gone. Don't think about no memories. Don't think about, oh, but I loved her. Oh, but the memories, she's gone. And the more that you stay attached to that situation, the more it's going to stop you from being able to grow because you can't grow. You can't grow if you're not presently focused on the now. If you're so focused on the future, you're going to be very anxious. You're going to be so focused on I don't know what I'm gonna say, right? You're gonna be the type of guy who can't approach a woman because he's gonna say, "Well, I don't know what I'm gonna say. What if she rejects me?" You're too focused on the future. When you're present, you're focused on the now. I see that woman, she looks good. I want to go talk to her. Let's do it. Boom, you're flowing. You walk over there. You're not thinking about what am I gonna say? What am I gonna say? What am I gonna say? No, you're present in the moment. You go over there, you introduce yourself like a man and whatever is present in the moment to talk about is what you're going to talk about. You don't have to make things up. So that's why you must learn to detach yourself from things that have happened in the past and have the mindset moving forward so that when things do happen to you, you understand that it's not good to dwell on things for very long. It's not good to dwell on things for more than an hour, really. if you if you are someone who can't get over things quickly, then try to detach yourself from things and try to speed up the process. So let's say, for example, you go through a breakup. I'm just using a breakup because a lot of guys go through it. So you go through a breakup and it takes you a week to get over, or a month, or 2 months. Eventually you have to start learning how to detach yourself to the point where 2 months goes down to 1 month, and then 1 month goes down to 15 days, and then 15 days goes down to 7 days, and then 7 days go down to 3 days, and then eventually goes down to one, and then eventually you can get over it within an hour or even right away. I've gotten to the point where I get over shit right away. The moment I tell myself in my mind, it's done, it's over, then it's done. It's in the past. My mindset is only looking forward. I'm not focused on the rear view mirror. I'm focused on what's ahead of me. What is ahead of me? And what is ahead of me is the present moment. So the moment something is gone out of my life, it's gone. That's it. No more. I don't focus on it anymore. I focus on now. I remember when I fell asleep and I totaled my car. Most people would have sat there crying. Most people would have been like, "Oh, my car. Oh, no, no, no." No, I fell asleep. I woke up. And the moment it happened, okay, what do I do now? That's it. No attachment, no feeling sad about the car, no regret that I can't believe I didn't get enough sleep, no beating myself up, no negative self-talk about I can't believe you would do this. You see the problems that you've caused yourself. See, a lot of you guys have these problems. This is the self-talk of a lot of you guys. And I'm not doing this to act like I'm better than you in any way. I'm doing this to try to help you see the differences so that maybe you can try to work on that in a way just by seeing how quickly someone can get over something as opposed to dwelling on it for too long. So the moment it happened, that's it. It's done. What's what's the purpose of me sitting here dwelling, wasting my energy on energy that could be spent moving forward as opposed to energy being spent into something that has already happened because that is not giving me a return on my investment. What's giving me a return on my investment is focusing on the present moment because when you focus on the now, you're building. When you focus on the past, you're trying to build, but there's nothing being built. All right, guys. So that's the video for today, guys. Like the video, comment down below, and subscribe. Peace out.